In the last chapter, we looked at spatial interpolation, basically getting from one keyframe to another visually. In this chapter, we're going to look at temporal, or in other words, time interpolation. Temporal interpolation is significantly more challenging than spatial interpolation, but it's also significantly more useful as well because it applies to multiple properties, not just position. Typically, when we refer to temporal interpolation, we're talking about speed or the velocity between keyframes. In this temporal interpolation project, you'll find in the Chapter 13 folder, I have a simple circle here, and there's basic keyframes. It starts at the top and goes to the bottom. You can see how robotic the motion is. The motion is constant the entire time. If a ball were really falling, that's not the way it would work. It would actually start slower and then, of course, end much more quickly. So I've animated another circle, and this one also only has 2 keyframes, but it also has some temporal interpolation adjustments. So let's preview those together. So as you can see here, the one on the right starts slower, but ends much more quickly. And all we've done is just change the interpolation. The top keyframe is basically the same, the bottom keyframe is the same, but what happens in between is what we've adjusted. And just like with spatial interpolation, this is not about adding more keyframes. It's about adjusting the way it gets from point A to point B. So in the next movie, I'm going to show you how to quickly adjust and enhance an object's temporal interpolation. Then we'll look at some more advanced animation features, and we'll wind up at the end of this chapter talking about the graph editor, which is where we create more sophisticated animations.